let's get back to having some fun in Raid Shadow Legends. Now that we can allocate skills to Wave 1, Wave 2, and Wave 3, there's got to be some badass Fire Knight teams out there that nobody's talking about. This is an all-epic team. We have Allure at 201 speed. She's not even fast. And we're going to do 10 runs through the Fire Knight on stage 25. Very easy. Now that we can tell it to do a skill on Wave 1 and to never do it again, that way we have it ready for Wave 2. And then when we get to Wave 3 at the Fire Knight, we can actually take down the shield because we can tell it to do our multi-hit ability. Rosin Scarhide comes to mind. If we tell Rosin Scarhide to do his A3 turn meter reduction immediately when you zone in and then never use it again. So no matter how long it takes you to beat that wave, you'll have it ready for Wave 2. You zone into Wave 2, turn meter reduction again, and then when we zone into Wave 3, we have him do his A1. 3 hits on the shield with whatever else you have on your team. There's got to be some good comps out there that just nobody's exploring or I haven't heard of yet. So please let us all know down below. We will try them out. Tell us your comps, what you lock out that really makes a difference, what you do on Fire Knight, because we've really needed this for Fire Knight. The reason why we never did this team before is because when we get to Wave 2, we had a really high rate of failure. Maybe even like a 35 to a, I don't know, even a 20% rate of failure. You don't want that. Now we will never have failure because we can tell it to save those skills. Use them right away and then save them for Wave 2. I'll show you how I have this set up and I'll show you the gear on all of these in just a minute. I just want to get 10 runs in here to make sure it's secure. So we zone in. We're going to do all of our abilities. We'll never do that ability again. We'll never stun again. We'll never do decrease attack and decrease defense again because we're going to save that for Wave 2. So we just had it go off at the very beginning. I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to play this at 1.5 times speed. You can see it at the very top. So now we're just taking our time beating down the wave. It doesn't matter how weak we are. We've got time. We're slow speeding everyone because that's what now that our Stag Knight, sorry, it's a little too fast. Stag Knight is now hitting everybody with his A1 to put a slow speed up. And Evil Eye turn meter reduction on everyone as well. Plus Allure has all her skills locked out, so she's turn meter reducing everyone. And then we've got Royal Guard with his turn meter reduction on his A3, still a little bit fast. So now when we zone into Wave 2, we have all those abilities ready to go again. We can get our stun up, AoE stun from our Archmage helmet. Archmage helmet is in a little bit of a shield set. That way we can take a hit from the Fire Knight. We're going to take a hit from the Fire Knight every once in a while. Not every time, but sometimes we will, and it's okay. We're going to have decreased attack up on every single time, and we've got a shield set on Archmage helmet, but he doesn't even have an HP chest. He's got a defense chest, so our shields are really small because usually I would use him with SEER, and we don't have to worry about a shield set. But if we needed to, we could do that. But these are super easy runs, 2 minute and 30 seconds to 2 minute and 45 seconds. If we get a really bad beat when we're not doing a lot of good damage, or maybe our Royal Guard isn't hitting his refresh accessories or his relentless gear, getting those additional turns, it could be up to 3 minutes. But with this team, Fire Knight 25, 2.5 minutes to 3 minutes, I think is really good. And you will never fail. Plus, the biggest thing is this Allure is at 201 speed. As you just saw, she is in a relentless set. Now, that's not by my design. She can have 201 speed and not relentless proc, and we can get hit by the Fire Knight, which you're going to see very soon, and we're still going to get fast times, and we're barely going to take any damage because when we zone in, everything is going to happen exactly the same. We're going to take down the shield. We're going to have Stag Knight do his AoE after we take down the shield, and then the Fire Knight might get a turn. Even if we didn't have that decrease attack up, we still wouldn't die. We would just be much lower, and once he takes a turn, that's it. The Fire Knight's done. It doesn't matter how really fast my team is. If the Fire Knight takes a turn, that's where we can really recoup and keep him down all the time. Like, keep his turn meter down completely. Okay, let's go back over this and run this a little faster this time. So we go in, we do all of our big skills, and then we have them locked out to not do it again until we get into Wave 2. That way we can do this exact same thing over on Wave 2, and we've got no worries. Nobody's going to take damage. Nobody's going to die. If that 0.0 something % ever were to happen to where we did get hit by somebody, we've got decrease attack up. So it's not a big deal. It's really not. But it would be very, very rare for that to happen with this team comp. So we come in, we get our buffs up. Now we're about to get our stuns up again. So much turn meter reduction going on. So right now you can see in the middle that Nethril turn meter reduced. I mean, he's going to get turn meter reduced by so many people just from Evil Eye on their A1, and then turn meter reduction from Allure. Then we've also got the slow speed again that our Stag Knight just loves to cycle through and put up. Now, when we zone into the boss, if you look at these three, we've got Royal Guard doing his A3 because he did it here, and then he will never do it again until the end of this fight. So we have his A3 saved up to get those 3 hits. Allure's locked out all around. Archmage will be locked out from doing his A2 on the boss because we just want him to buff up and give us those buffs, which he's not using again until we get to the boss. And then we only want to do his A1 then because he gets a 10% turn meter increase and a 20% turn meter increase if he crits on his A1. So we'll let him just keep doing turn meter increase to himself and get us more speed buffs up. Here, let's hope we don't Relentless proc and we get hit by the boss. See, we keep getting an extra turn from Allure and it's really not fair. Let's skip forward. This team is great. I'm telling you, this team is fantastic. When you look at the times, there was a 3-minute there. Sorry. The other one before that was 2:40. I got a 2:35 in here somewhere. I'm going to skip forward to the boss because I want to see us zone in and get hit, which 6 or 7 of these 10 fights, we got hit back. We just been getting really lucky with that Relentless proc right here. So we come in, we get the 3 hits. Holy crap. Okay. Wow. Relentless is just procking like a madman. Now we're on to the next fight. This is battle 10, 4 of 10. You can see it right there. All right, on to the boss. No more Relentless proc, please. I don't want you guys to think that it's the only reason it works. You don't need Relentless gear on her. You can take the hit every single time. Decrease attack. All right, he's catching up. That's good. Let's go. Give us a hit. Hit. Not a lot of damage. Now, if we didn't have that decrease attack up, I still think my Royal Guard would be at very little life, but that would be all we need because once you have that guy take a turn, once the Fire Knight takes a turn and has to start from 0 turn meter against all of us, you will always keep him down. Just completely keep him down from here. It's easy just to keep plus Royal Guard's about to do A3. There you go. And turn meter reduction from that along with Allure at 201 speed, easy. Now, if you have a faster Allure, and if you don't have Relentless, then you're really set. If you want to go with 250 Allure, all you have to do is have 85% chance to crit on this dungeon because we are strong affinity. Same thing goes with Archmage because he does need to crit to stun on that A2. You only need 85% chance to crit if you have the elemental advantage. Remember that. So my Allure right now really does have, no, my other one, my 300 speed one has 85% chance to crit. So there you go. We got hit back 253 there. Where's our 230 ones? 230, 235 wins. Because I know you guys think I'm full of it now, right? I feel like I am because I'm hitting 3 minutes now. Okay, we should call this the 3-minute run time. Let's say average 250 if we're hitting 3 all the time. 246. Nice. Same thing. We're going to go to wave 3 and look at the end here. 2, come on. 256. Okay, average 3-minute run times. You cannot complain when you're talking about all epics through Fire Knight 25, which is traditionally very hard because it's got 12 shields when we zone in, and it makes it a nightmare to come in here without the big multi-hitters, without those cold hearts, without all those other heroes that just hit many, many times. Come on, give me a good one. 3 minutes. That was like a 3-minute one again. 255. All right, let's go. Okay, the last one. This is 9 of 10. I think we're going to get a faster one here. 229. That's what I'm talking about. 229. I told you. I wouldn't lie to you and get your hopes up. 229. Fire Knight 25. All epics. And I'll show you. Let's go into what we do to make sure that they have their spells set up properly. 241 at the very end. Magnar is one of the ones in here that we really don't have to worry about. I just have him do his AoE right away. I lock out his A3 because I'd prefer to do A1 with decrease defense. Although this A3 probably hits harder, just personal preference. Same thing here. I want him to start out if he has it available because we don't know if he has it available with what we're running here because we have it indefinite. We're not really worried about Magnar when he takes his turns out of this comp at all. And then if he does have it up, we want him to immediately do his double hit. That's his only multi-hit when we get to the boss. Stag Knight. We have Stag Knight coming in on round 1 and opening with his A2 and then never using it again. Then he'll just do his A1 over and over. Round 2, same thing. Open with that A2 and then just do this one over and over. Here, we're going to open with the A1, obviously, because it's a 2-hitter. Plus, it has slow speed on there. Really, it's the 2 hits. We want the 2 hits to drop down the shield, and then we'll come back around and do either one. But it does line up perfectly for my runs that you saw. Every single time, we always got that decrease attack, decrease defense up on the boss before he took a turn. Archmage. We've got Archmage round 1 doing the AoE stun and then never doing it again until wave 2. Wave 2, we've got him doing his buff and then doing the stun. Now, the buff's not always going to be up right away, but if it is up right away, we've got him doing it and then one time in that round and then never again. And then immediately he'll go and do this ability because this ability will be off a cooldown because we had it locked out. So we'll get that AoE stun up again. A lot of times we'll buff up first and then we'll get that AoE stun up, which is fine. The wave speed is like 100 speed. So as long as you're at 200 speed, 201, somewhere around there, you're going to go twice before they do. Now, when we get to the boss, I'm going to lock out that AoE stun because it's not going to benefit us really there. It does hit kind of relatively hard, but we're not worried about damage from him. He's not built for damage. We just want this increased speed buff, and then we want him to do his A1 to get turn meter to himself. Fills the turn meter by 20% if this attack is a critical hit, which it will be, so he'll cycle through his abilities much faster to get us up this speed increase. Royal Guard on round 1, we've got him doing his hamstring and then never again. Here we've got him doing his hamstring and then never again. That's the 3 random hits with the turn meter decrease, the slow speed, and then we want him to have that ready. That's why we have it locked out after he uses it on wave 2. We want it to have ready right when we go to the boss. So we get those 3 hits immediately, which we always do. Allure, still easy. I just lock out everything. I just make sure she does that A1, so she's always doing turn meter reduction on those waves. And when we stun them, when we slow them, just on those waves, keep doing that turn meter reduction, which makes it so we have all the time in the world to take them down and be prepared for the next waves. All right, the gear we've got on these heroes. Not crazy gear, I want to say. For me, anyways, I don't feel like it's too crazy, but maybe my Magnar is built for some pretty good damage. Let's look at Royal Guard. Actually, I've got him set up really good because this is how you want to build somebody who, you know, the max damage we can do on the boss is capped at 10% of the boss's max HP. So to do more damage on the boss, we want a Relentless proc, and we want to make sure our skills don't go on cooldown. So I do have him set up pretty nicely, I've got to admit. Not really crazy damage, but still, I mean, I still think he's pretty good damage. Not crazy speed at all. And we're good with Royal Guard, trying to take multiple turns on the boss just to beat it even faster. Stag Knight is in a mix match set. Nothing special there. 252 speed. We just want him to go before our DPS goes. And Masteries, you want this Sniper Mastery, right? He's only got a 95% chance to do his debuffs. You have to pick this if you're going to play Stag Knight. Get that to 100% chance to apply his debuffs, and you're good to go. And then, of course, Master Hexer. And we've got War Master to speed things up when we're at the boss. Who else do we have in there? You could play Deacon in lead position, right? You could put Deacon in there instead of Stag Knight to get the speed aura and then cycle through turn meter increase, turn meter reduction. We do decreased defense. We do 2 hits on the A1. So Deacon could play there instead of him. We also had Allure number 2. So this Allure number 2 is 201 speed. That's what you're going to want to do. You do not have to have her in a Relentless set. I've got her in there just because she was already in this. So I just put boots on her at +6 that I found just to put her at 201 speed. Otherwise, I didn't want to re-gear her completely. So I've got her geared up. And you know, setting these rounds is really good for Dark Fae as well. If you're fighting Dark Fae, it's really good. I mean, being able to set all these rounds is amazing now. So I think we should see more videos about setting up the rounds and beating content with that because it's going to be easier. It's just got to be much easier. I'm really glad that they added this to the game. Now, he is kind of beefy, but I think most people's Magnar are going to be built for damage. I've got critical damage or HP, HP, critical damage, HP again. He doesn't need to be this strong. He is our damage dealer to help out there, but on a 3-turn cooldown, AoE 2 hits, he doesn't have to be insanely strong. He's at 252. Again, you just want him over your DPS. I would just make sure that your Archmage, your Allure, and your Stag Knight are over 201 speed. Get them going 2 times to the boss's 1 and to the wave's 1 turn. And then we get that speed buff up and we'll feel even better about it, right? We'll make sure that we always go 2 times then. So he's not in anything fancy. We've got a 100% chance to crit. I used to run him with crit rate gloves all the time, but I've got enough crit rate substats that he's good. We need to crit to get that AoE stun up. There we crit, we get those stuns up, and then here we've got his buffs, and then we crit and we get additional turn meter. That's it, everyone. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know, again, your teams on what you're using to set up to make things much easier, or using heroes you wouldn't normally use. Like we mentioned, Rosin Scarhide. Are you using him? I want to use him. I think there's going to be some teams, like really good teams we can use now. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I do appreciate your time. Please subscribe if you haven't. I will see you guys all in a video soon.